Hi everyone! In this video I'm going to share with you all how I use frequency paintings for manifestation. Okay, we have a new moon taking place, and that is in Libra. It's about a week away, and basically new moon is about gravity, while full moon is levitation. So levitation for a farmer, sprouting, blooming. And gravity is grounding, seeding, integrating. So new moon is a time of grounding our intentions, which is a lot of times involves our higher chakras. Particularly our arc line is our Sachic record, is simply our higher destiny, our creative life force, our visionary intelligence. Okay, that's our dreams for what we want to manifest in this physical reality. So the gravity of the new moon helps us to integrate that big expansive dreams into the lower chakras, into the earth. And then the earth kind of goes through its period of gestation. And then during a full moon energy, levitation, which is the actualization of the seed, like planting a seed and it becoming a flower or a plant or a fruit or vegetable, okay? So what I like to do, okay, for grounding ideas or dreams that we would like to sprout into a physical experience, I like to learn about what the zodiac is all about. Okay, so I use this book a lot of times, okay, the New Moon Astrology, especially recently, to help me understand how I can best use the zodiac in the new moon to help me manifest. So Libra, okay, so Libra, we have Libra, what to wish for when the new moon is in Libra. Marriage, negotiation skills, harmony, teamwork, sociability, diplomacy, refinement, healing, codependency. So, for the new moon in Libra, I would focus on intention setting that involves marriage, negotiation skills, harmony, teamwork, sociability, diplomacy, refinement, healing, codependency. Okay? And the intention should have a resonance. Okay, a resonance. It should feel comfortable when you are stating it. If it feels that something's a little bit off, it could mean that maybe it's not the divine timing for that particular dream, meaning there are stages to that you must maybe go deep within yourself to uncover. Maybe that's a later stage in your manifestation, okay? Because it should feel attainable. It shouldn't feel so far out there. If it is, that's okay. That's a bigger dream. We just simply want to get to the stages, the phases of that fullness of that dream actualizing, okay? It's like plant. We don't get to the rose like that. We get to the stem, we get to the leaves, further growth, and then we get to the petals, them organizing themselves, structuring themselves, strengthening themselves, and then when the petals are nice and strong, we get a bloom. Okay, and that's kind of like our big dreams. We go through the establishing of the roots, okay, very important, the roots, the stability, consistency, the establishment. Is it on a solid ground? Is it on a solid foundation? Very important. If it doesn't have a solid foundation, that plant is going to have nothing to grab onto, and it's going to, when something happens like a storm, that plant is going to be, woo, it's going to be gone. That's the importance of having a solid foundation. And for manifestation, a lot of it is your spiritual daily practice. Meaning, when the storms happen, your rose isn't just gonna be carried away and just blown off, and you are able to hold yourself. Okay, hold yourself consistent to yourself, okay, which is very important for any kind of dream. Can you endure the elements of time? Not only endure, but the death and rebirth. Sometimes the rose is not properly seeded, and maybe that rose doesn't make it to full bloom and it has to be seeded again. Can you endure that? Can you find joy in that? Because a rose loves it, but we intellectualize everything, okay? So foundation, then we get to the stem, okay? It's like the structure, it's like the plan, and then the leaves, which is the extension, which is the expansion, the receiving of the light. Do you have a practice where you can receive light? Nourishment for your soul. The stem, it transfers the water, the nourishment from the soil throughout the whole plant. Do you have a practice of distributing nourishment throughout the entire body, so you're not blocked? Because if a stem is blocked in certain areas, the nourishment can't get to those areas, and then those areas kind of wither away and wilt and die. Okay, so we got to get a good distribution of nourishment, such as activities that give us joy for our fire, like Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, fun, excitement, as well as intellectual reading and learning, as for the air element of ourselves, the earth element, getting connected to gardening, feeling joyous being out in nature. Okay, and then we have the water, being connected to your emotions, comforting yourself, nurturing yourself. Okay, these are all things a part of the nourishment of the total self, and it's a part of manifestation. Okay, just like a plant, it's part of the plant. The plant uses the 5 elements. Okay, we have the earth, we have the wind, we have the water, we have the fire. And then we also have a celestial force, which can be representing a higher destiny. It's just a feeling you have. It's just a feeling. It's like you just a knowing, okay? That's like a higher destiny calling to you. Your Pluto, whatever sign your Pluto is in your astrological chart, can represent your soul, transformation, your evolutionary necessity for your soul, okay? So mine's in Scorpio, and we have a lot of in Scorpio, and that is a need, evolutionary need to clear away all of the falseness so we can be able to embrace the shadow and shine the light through. Okay, so Libra. So for the frequency paintings, what I do is first I create the foundation, the roots, okay? And I connect with my emotions, I connect with my intelligence, I connect with my grounded expression, as well as I connect with the celestial element of my calling of the soul and the quiet of my being. And I also listen to Long Econ Cars, because Long Econ Cars is very impactful at resonance. Okay, so we get in a resonance, which is a broadcast, which is amplification, so we can clear away all of the obstructions of intention and get to the authenticity of what is the core of our intention. And we can receive that through the Long Econ Cars, because it penetrates us, strikes us in a way that gets the garbage out, okay? The subconscious garbage that has us manifesting things that we don't really want, but we say we want because we're in a habitual sway with it, okay? It should feel fulfillment, okay? Fulfillment. But also fulfillment requires charisma. Okay, that's the thing. It requires charisma, surrender, and trust. Okay, and that's a part of the spiritual daily practice required. So the first thing I do is you can see the foundation. I have written sentences. Okay, and they all correspond with the Libra energy. So I channel what I'm working on, and it's not necessarily dreams. It can be personal adjustments you would like to make. So I'm gonna, for the Libra, this is from the book, You could say, I want to easily attract and begin a happy, monogamous, committed relationship with a man or woman with whom I experience mutual support, respect, appreciation, love, passion, etc. Okay, that's an example. I love the I want to easily attract. I want to easily find myself, dot, dot, dot. Okay. Or I intend to receive. So intend is kind of like a masculine and receive is a feminine. So we got that yin yang balance in our question or intention. I want to easily see and successfully follow the pathway to creating a happy marriage. So this has to do with Libra. I want to easily find myself saying the right words to my partner that encourages him, her to be more loving towards me. I want to easily find myself filled with accurate discernment in terms of relationships, leading to my committing to those opportunities that are in my overall best interests. So those are a few examples of the I want to easily attract. I want to easily find myself, dot, dot, dot. Okay? So it can go within yourself and see what it is. Again, it should feel comfortable. It should be attainable. If it doesn't, then we need to draw back to the beginning steps, okay? Because they're very important. Foundation. The seeding is very important, not just the blooming of the rose. We can't skip things, okay? So it should feel like you're easing into it. You should not feel anxiety when you're thinking about this. You should not feel stress when you're thinking about this. That simply means we need to go a little bit more simpler or basic, okay? So I wrote down various things, not too many. I wrote about 8. So one of them I said, I want to easily find myself in social, uplifted environments where I can shine and have fun. It's very simple. It's not something crazy, okay? It's pretty simple. I want to become more sociable because I have a lot of Gemini, so Gemini likes to be social. So I want to easily find myself in social, uplifted environments where I can shine and have fun. So I write it all out. So I have various sentences. I want to easily find myself. I want to easily attract. I intend to, da 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 da. And then I just begin to paint over it, creating resonance. So it's very important to create a resonance, a play, a fun with it. Because if it's not fun, if it's taken seriously, you're not open. Meaning you're going to probably block yourself and you're going to be focused on something that you're going to be totally oblivious to what actually wants to come through, okay? So fun creativity is opening yourself up to possibility greater than just your intelligence, but connecting with a higher intelligence that is a miracle intelligence that you can't cognitively understand why that happens or why this is happening this way, but you surrender to it because you trust in a bigger picture, because you understand the creative life force such as this is very spontaneous. It's very unexpected. It's very in the flow state, so it just flows. It's not calculated, but in essence it is calculated. When you get to the bigger picture, you realize this all comes together. You just can't realize it when you're painting just one side of the picture. But in the overall view, it all comes together and creates a resonance, okay? So that's what I like to do, and I also use geomancy, which I'm not going to explain because that's another beast of itself. So geomancy is just simply, it's a very ancient basic snippet. It's just simply a very ancient tool to connecting with the divine force and getting the divine force to work for you, okay? So to get you what you want creatively, okay? Using the 5 elements and using a spiritual, it's like divination. Okay, so here's another one. Okay, so this is like a geomancy, and that's for your own discovery, okay, your own education. So again, it creates a resonance, the foundation, it gives it a spunk, it gives it a jazz, it gives it a flair. So when I connect with this, I'm not just connecting with words, I'm connecting with the total expression of itself. And a total expression of itself, it it gives a sense of openness, surrender to the divine making, surrender to the creation itself and the process and the journey of it. So while I was creating these works of art, and if you do your own, or if you want me to do a manifestation frequency for you, that's perfectly fine. Basically, things can come up. Things come up and you realize, I need to write that as an intention. For example, for me, I wrote, I want to easily find myself feeling safe, protected, and secure. So that came up within myself, and yours will be different. Okay, so it's easy. It can be that. Okay, I want to easily find myself thinking more positively, enthusiastically, and charismatically. Okay, it's pretty simple. But then intention also with the surrender through the creative process of creating the frequency around the more intellectual thought, it creates this like an open door where I trust in how this unfolds. Okay, and it also, I found, like, when I was creating these, that it helps us to accept our journey. Okay, I don't know if you're hard on your journey, but sometimes we can be hard on ourselves about our journey and our progress. Okay, and just letting loose and letting fun through the expression of art, expression itself, it helps us to relax about our journey and about our progress, and to appreciate how far we've come, and also to reflect upon how can we give ourselves wholeheartedly more to life. And that's a great question. How can you give yourself more wholeheartedly to life? Meaning your spiritual daily practice, your intention for manifestation, your healing journey, your intellectual journey, your overall just being a part of life and social and your physical, practical life. It's wholeheartedly putting yourself in life, not escaping, not ignoring, not denying, not suppressing, not forgetting, not following, but leading yourself wholeheartedly into what you know you must do for your evolutionary necessity, which is the end goal, if you'll say. But it's very dynamic. The evolutionary necessity is very dynamic. It's not this cut dry kind of, this is the path. No, it's very much like a wheel, and it's kind of like art. It just goes here, it goes here. It's just beautiful in contrast and colors of light and dark hues of light. And the darkness is simply darker hues of light, the browns and the blacks, but it's still connected to the light spectrum. Okay? And when we can recognize that, we can begin to accept ourselves and begin to accept others for where they're at on their journey and progress. And when we're more accepting of others, we are not so serious, we're not so fixated, we're not so obsessed, and we're more so in a state of trust and surrender in their process, and as well as ours, and our journey, and how we've crossed paths with them for a learning lesson that can help us to better strengthen or evolve any weaknesses or patterns or tendencies we have that just no longer serve. So it's okay, just let it go, and sometimes we need a little push to let it go, and that's perfectly fine, part of the thing. Okay, so I hope this video has helped you with your own manifestation journey towards your personal, you have your fulfillment within your intellectual world, your earthy world, practical world, money world, as well as your fire world, your enthusiasm, your exercise, your movement, a joy for life, as well as your water, your emotional happiness, emotional fulfillment, emotional healing. Okay, and also the celestial, which is the spiritual kind of connectivity. Feeling connected, feeling a sense of belonging, feeling a soulful jazz that liberates you and liberates people around you. And being alive is quite a responsibility, it's quite work to balance all of those. That's a lot of work and to do all of that. But if we're willing to do it, the whole universe moves for us. It moves for us because we're moved by it. So I'm gonna leave you all with this. Namaste.